101 on 6.8 right here. And still the bar target bans here from Flash Wolves. No Soraka banned from CLG this time around.
We're all just patiently waiting.
I know, we want to see the one component that changes here for Flash Wolves, because
see what they do.
They don't have to ban out the Maokai.
I also thought the play from not taking Caitlyn and CLG the first time is, no, we don't need the thing everybody thinks they ban against us. Oh, now we'll play it. Interesting that they lost. But the Soraka gets taken out by...
As you said, Viv, you're like, it doesn't change, but it does change. Basically, they just swapped bans. The same champions are off the board.
These are going fast, though.
Different hands, though.
Bans stay the same. Rise comes out for Hui because he needs his comfort pick.
Yes.
And again, Flash Wolves, I don't like it. They seem to be so afraid of the Rise top Azir mid kind of cheesy pick that they early locked this Azir, foregoing many other priority picks that they could go for. Like, they could get comfort champs on other players.
I feel like Echo is one thing that jumps to mind for me.
At least they get the Kindred this time. That is
huge.
That is something. That is denying that from McSmithy and giving yourself a strong jungler is, I think, is a good first step here. For
if you see this, the possibility of CLG trying to run the Nidalee and trying to go quicker pace.
Nidalee Rise is a good mid lane jungle duo because you can set up for the spear with the flash snare.
Not only can you set up for the spear, but the curve is a lot more aligned with Nidalee. Like we talked about, Rise's 2 item is huge. But they don't go for it. A lot of people enjoy Graves into Kindred.
Do you, Kobe? Do you enjoy it?
I do.
Tell us why.
I'm a big fan of the shotgun. Graves, he basically just mans up against Kindred is how you play it. And you shove him, if you get to the point where you can shove him off his own ultimate, we've seen Karsa do it, right? And then he starts spamming Laugh after on the Kindred's dead body, if you can get in there. But yeah, Graves, close range damage, also has the burst. But we'll see. Karsa on the Kindred is a lot of team fight utility here for the backline. See if he can keep the Azir and whatever NL picks up safe.
Keep switching sides. 1-3-1 and 4-1. Keep switching sides depending on where your Azir ends up. And now LMS will have to play another 4-1 competition with heavy siege, and they invest even more into it offensively now with the Karma.
Final pick up to NL, waiting on Stixxay and Afromu. Just down the line. CLG getting a composition very much like game 1.
I mean, Janna Caitlyn wouldn't necessarily be a bad draft here, because if they get standard lanes, they can use that lane to get an advantage. If they can find a way to match the 2v2 versus 1v1, we have an entirely different game. The compositions weren't the issue last game
it was the
for
play,
either of these teams. It was the play and especially the execution on the lane swap. So CLG hopefully identified the files correctly instead of misattributing them, because that's something teams sometimes do in best of 5s.
I told you, game 1, there's a possibility of Stixxay stealing away the Ezreal from
That's what
NL.
you talk about? They lock in Sona? And you start talking about the Ezreal
I was like, wait, you said Sona?
No, it's a steal away pick. First, I got to give myself credit. Then you can talk about your Sona.
Of course.
So anyways, the burst potential at level 6 from an Ezreal Sona lane is definitely underestimated by a lot of people.
Is it?
Go ahead and talk. Yeah, I feel like it is.
I hate Sona. I think the pick is absolutely garbage. But I may be wrong because I never played a champion because I hate her so much. It's like one of those times when somebody brings it out, so I'm like, okay, I
blind hate from Crepo.
It's too many failures in my career. Lane. So many championships I could have played better at or won if I learned how to aim that ulti correctly. Pulled a Chaucer a couple times. So yeah, Afromu, Sona.
I feel like there's potential here for level 6 burst with the Sona lane.
Great analysis, that lane.
The poke is... Ooh, talk about poke. The poke is actually going to emerge here for Maple.
No.
Whoa, I'm just kidding. Okay. I got a little confused. Yeah, yes. NL was the guy. Because you're thinking back to Worlds, right? NL, Varus is what we talked about so much in Worlds. Hasn't really been a discussion, for half a year here for NL, but goes back to a goodie but oldie for himself.
He gets Ezreal stolen away, as you predicted very well.
Varus.
But then he locks in a stationary AD carry against a Rise that can flash on top of you, Echo, who's literally...
And the Sona level 6.
And the level 6 power spike of Sona Ezreal. By the way, that lane has incredible kill pressure.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, dusting off the Sona 196 games ago. Spring Playoffs 2013 was the last time Afremu brought that in competitive play. NL, he's been variousing throughout the spring split this season. It's going to be awesome lanes all around. Hopefully we get the matchups. It hasn't even been a gank kill game. It's been a turret kill game. When can we fight after that?
I mean, it all has been building up to these big moments, these crescendos in team fights. So.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God, it starts early with...
Freak?
Anyways...
All right, you know what to do. Tweet at LOL Esports. Stay with us here on your predictions. Update them. What team do you think is going to advance to the finals? Hashtag CLG win. Hashtag FW win. We're going to be getting right into game here for Game 3, Day 2 of the semifinals here at the Midseason Invitational at the Oriental Sports Center here in Shanghai. We are blowing the roof off of this place and trying to figure out who will face SK Telecom T1 in the finals tomorrow. Will it be Counter Logic Gaming from North America or the LMS's Flash Wolves? We are on the Rift.
And I can't wait for
me
Wolf
too.
tomorrow to pick Sona.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Everybody copying North America. Now we're one-upping the ante here. Huh? How far do you want to follow us down the rabbit hole? Come, Korea, come.
We have nothing left to follow, like Europe-wise. They're already practicing for the next patch.
All right. Well, so anyways, I really do want to see this 2v2 lane because these are characters that we so rarely get to see played at the competitive level matching up against each other, and it so heavily relies upon skill shots landing. These lanes could go. I mean,
all these Sona skill shots.
No. The AD carries. I mean, so this.
That was
yes,
flashy.
the Sona does have the keyboard face rolling, but the Ezreal skill shots and the Varus skill shots landing. As well as the Karma poke versus, can she out poke the Sona sustain? Is actually huge because Sona gets both the offensive and defensive face rolling abilities. But everybody else is going to have to land their abilities. Stixxay, by the way, going to be playing this one without Flash.
That's fine. He'll have it in 3 levels.
The first,
2 levels,
5
sorry.
minutes.
2 levels. He had some Ezreal games during the season, just about even in his wins and losses, around 10 plays.
If they walk into lane right now, so they're going to reveal themselves on camp, hopefully to
this is early.
Draw them out. The ward obviously doesn't see them. There's a brush in between. And a face check, and it goes back. So they don't at least have to bypass the brush where the 2 champions are hiding. And now we get poke central. Kobe is very excited.
I'm so excited for this 2v2. Crepo's already laid his bets. He hates Sona. He's a North America hater. He
hates Sona, and you're not getting a lane swap this game. If you just want to sit back, it's fine. We understand. Oh, there's the damage.
Oh, look at the poke.
Some of the lowest health of a starting champion in League of Legends. And
skill shots, Crepo. Boom. Zordon got that.
Another skill shot. Oh, more skill shots.
Oh, my God. So much skill in this lane. The minion blocks as well. High skill cap here for the CLG minions. They blocked NL. He couldn't follow up.
Misses skill shot. That's big because it actually means Flash Wolves are very not so confident right now. Sword Art walks up, doesn't like trading, so that's why he loses that trade.
All right, yeah, I mean, this is honestly one of the lanes where we always talk about, what other graphics we would love to have, on the broadcast. This is one of those ones where you would love to have one of these skill shot counters, right? Just because it's so hard to keep track of. We would have to watch that lane the entire time if we wanted to learn a lot more. I know I'm not suggesting that, observers. Don't worry. Please don't do that. We're going to focus on it too much already. Karsa going top with red buff, and this spells very, very dangerous things for Darshan. Going to try and get out.
Phase dive to Karsa, trying to gain a little bit of ground, and the lanes once again in favor. There it is. Karsa flashes forward. He stays alive. It's not enough damage from the turret.
They also drew the teleport from Huhi from the mid lane, and Flash Wolves off to a huge start.
Pulling the trigger immediately. I was wondering, we haven't seen ganks in this game. Who's it going to favor when they actually match the lanes up to do it? And Karsa comes out early in the top lane. Both teleports now down for CLG.
Spotlight on Karsa early on. We keep mentioning him, and he shows up so huge with the early Kindred. That's
my word.
That's not an unexpected Kindred route. No. Free camp, ganking top very quickly.
Hard leashing the free camp into top lane gank. That is something Darshan should respect more, especially in matchups that he ends up pushing slightly early, but plays against a decent amount of CC. A really good pathing there for Karsa, because obviously you don't run into the double poke lane in the bot lane.
He was watching the bottom lane matchup also, counting skill shots. Should have... All right, let's see the answer here from Smithy. Might be able to tag him, but...
Should just be some quick sweet feet here from Maple. He shuffles over the wall, taking a bit of damage. Smithy, though, relieving that pressure, helpful for Huhi. He can finally get some of that CS, but actually needs that time to back get back to lane and just try to farm up that tier.
Yeah, now one of the reasons, though, that Sona has fallen off is that it's very hard to kind of win a lane purely by attrition and poke and our mana. Like, I feel like it's too hard and you run out of mana to really play the lanes efficiently, especially when you're playing against other poke too. The heal just isn't quite there yet anymore. It used to be pretty broken, where it was both winning offense and in defense. So they are definitely on the back foot here against a super strong poke lane. See the flash come out now. MMD getting equalized there. Flash was with a good start, and Karsa looking to cross map here. There's no ward in Tribush.
Yeah, this looks pretty good for Karsa.
They're going to rush out with Mantra E.
Seems like there's been a different focus on the lane here for CLG. They'd usually have a
ward
ward out.
Remember.
Focusing on the heals, focusing on keeping Afro alive. Wolf bites down. Karsa gets another kill for the Flash Wolves. That's going to be another one for Karsa coming out of the
there
jungle.
From Stixxay. He really wanted to answer back there and did not respect the 3-man and turret changing there on the aggro. Very easy for Flash Wolves. CLG falling apart.
Falling apart, following the sunk cost fallacy that Kobe in his NA cast talks about so often. And here, this flash snare here I like from Sorda, because he knows if Aftermoon matches the flash, he will still get snared at the end of that W, and then Karsa goes in. And this is where Flash will do some quick thinking, and CLG, honestly, chasing their losses. It's the Sona, man. It's not paying off.
Hey, the skill shots landed on her.
Yeah, it's more about the first gank in the top lane, propelling Karsa forward. Because look at him, he's 3-0 right now.
Karsa
5 minutes, 45 seconds
in a position to take over this game. Kindred with the early kills is extremely scary. Every lane now has to fear.
Yeah. And he has been a question this tournament. That mid and Karsa, Maple and Karsa, when are these two going to work together? And actually right now, Karsa's going off on his own. So when he does get to Maple in the mid lane, it's going to be that much worse for CLG.
Maple also going off on his own.
That's true.
Earning himself a nice CS lead versus Huhi in the mid lane here. Using the Azir aggressively, is able to play the matchup. And like we talked about, when you have confidence, pushing up and poking Huhi down consistently, forcing him back to base.
And they're almost baiting in more there. They're saying, you know, keep pushing up, Maple. I'll be here if Xmithie comes, if they try to give Huhi more breathing room. But head back towards topside. The pink wards are already placed, so the pressure's there.
Yeah, Darshan knows he's in a very... he should. He's got that top laner sense. He knows that there's a very dangerous Kindred on the map.
Now he does. What's he going to do about it, though?
Level 6, he doesn't want to go back the other way.
Knowing is only half the battle, Crepo.
But it's at this point in the game where if you respect these ganks too much, you actually set yourself behind exactly what the gank wants to accomplish. And Darshan doubting goes in, and that's the dying after hesitation is even worse. That's the worst feeling for a top laner right here. And bot lane, we're waiting on this level 6 power spike here. NL and Sword are waiting to get access to their combo tool that can also one-shot stationary targets.
Xmithie trying to pick up the scraps here, farming in the jungle after the enemy jungler shows, but it's just not enough. Karsa's on 2,300 damage to champions, and Xmithie's on 500 from that mid Azir gank. It's just, the jungle camps are not going to be able to make this up. At this point, the Flash Wolves are out to such an early lead, it becomes very difficult to get back into this one. CLG are going to have to make one of those numbers advantage plays to turn it around at this point.
Because MMD, his confidence was questioned after game 1, but he's made some sick execute plays with that hammer and winding it up and saying like, yeah, I might knock you away and save you and get another highlight reel, or I will just finish you off with the hammer. So very confident and just the right amount of damage right there for the second time already in this series.
And it's probably not something he's going to have to worry about not getting. That Poppy is most likely going to be in his hands throughout this series. Bot lane still getting pushed in. 66 to 61, however, as NL actually hasn't been able to grab that much of a lead, more so in pressure on the map for the rest of the team.
Waiting for that ultimate combo.
Yeah. 5-5 to 6-6 right now. They get him enough outside of that turret, and it might just come in with the chain of corruptions very fast. Flash Wolves move up, look to get a few more objectives.
All joking aside, I think it's not even enough, even if they connect, because Stixxay would need to start channeling his ulti almost when Afromood calls a target. And then Crescendo is flashable on 8 ping. And more importantly, through a Karma Shield. Let's see what he's skilling here. Sword Art. 3 points into Q, so he did make a little change here. Get into that later as we see a little siege here.
Waking up the dragon.
All of my dreams.
Crushed.
The level 6 all in. Anyways, yeah,
Sorry,
like you were saying.
Waiting for the level 11
you were saying,
power spike.
this is not the game to test that, right?
Yeah.
This is the game where you're huddling around the campfire for CLG. Karsa, ooh, good flash there.
That would have
Perfect reaction.
been a dead Hu-He. Flash, or teleport is down as well, so they're playing right in the middle of that time. He would have had the long walk back to mid.
See, whenever I see that, I wonder if the ultimate outplay is by Maple just predicting the flash, matching it, and then going where Hu-He is going to flash to an ulti, and worst case, knock him back anyways.
I don't feel like the risk reward is worth it, even in a really close game. But this game, they've got so much in hand right now. Oh God.
Darshan feeling he could make it out. He's right in that situation, but takes a lot more damage than he wanted to. His TP is back to get back to lane. He shouldn't miss too much here, as MMD won't be pushing too hard without mana. Yeah,
the best thing also for Flash Wolves and Karsa getting the early kills is that Kindred is such an easy champion to snowball on, because you can snowball in so many ways. Ooh. You can visit the lanes, pressure turrets, get down turrets easier, open up the jungle for more counter jungling, which stacks your Devour, which makes it easier for you to get to late game damage, and you're scaling. Plus, you can pressure all lanes with ganks. Everybody has to play defensively. Kindred just has so many options if you get a lead like this early on.
Yeah, and Karsa's really smart choices in where to gank have made it so that Flash Wolves right now have 3 pushing lanes, wherever they want, and that allows Karsa to get even more options in terms of invading enemy jungle too. So the world is his oyster right now, waiting for those marks.
Just at that mark, we saw Darshan getting pushed out. He chrono breaks back to lane, pushed it all the way up. Now MMD is clearing it, so that TP is still there for Counterlogic Gaming to utilize. Oh, the flash crescendo! It puts Maple in a bad spot, but he actually may be able to live before till his team gets here, I should say. Lamb's respite goes down. Maple's alive, and they have just juked a huge initiation from Counterlogic Gaming and are able to waltz right out to safety. Maybe. MMD was going to a bad spot, but they actually choose to get Dragon.
Yeah, now if you're Sona, you gotta wait for 5 more minutes.
Yeah, the thing is here, goes for the Miracle Steal, not gonna happen, but yeah, wherever Karsa is, it's so hard to make a play for CLG. A good attempt there.
I think it was the right play to go for. You need to go for a mid lane roam here, try and surprise somebody.
Like we said, they have to go for those. They have to go for those numbers advantage. They have to go for those fog of war. They have to go for those surprises. But
we joke around a little bit, but that's the only move CLG could make. Sadly, it was not enough. 20%. Maple survives, walks into the Lamb's respite. At that point, the play's turned around, and that is the downfall or the drawback of some of these champions that are so heavily centered around their ultimates. Get into that later.
Try again for CLG, and they canceled the play. Nobody was there. It was a little bit ambitious to start that one off without Afro and 6A being really in position or having the abilities to answer.
They take a top lane tower though. That is the counter.
So CLG,
a little disjointed in those calls.
Banking on the Rise completion here. 6A has at least been able to transform so he can start stacking a bit quicker.
It's not over though, by no means.
No.
If they group up and they get like a multi-man crescendo, or a fight that Flash was overreach, the layering of CC that's possible for CLG. Think about, Echo Sona combinations with high damage, very limited frontline here for CLG. They can blow people up.
Yeah, think about Karsa, shotgun to the face, could happen.
That hurts.
Again,
Doesn't become any easier for that to happen for Counterlogic Gaming, as once again Flash Wolves start to take that turret lead. Right now evened up, but they have mid down. They can open up the map for more forward wards, and we've already seen Maple in the spot where Xmithia is right now. They are not afraid to put themselves in dangerous positions. Here going on Hu-He, getting the Thunderlord's proc, and the team's always behind him. Having this Karma has allowed Sword Art to be everywhere for his team.
Yeah, Sword Art plus NL brings so much mid-game poke on the Varus Karma combo that Flash Wolves can continue to press the entire game now with this lead. They'll continue the jungle invades and then transition into poking and sieging up.
And they're leaving some wards behind, just like last game, just to spot any stragglers for CLG. Who's going where they're not supposed to be going? Like, is Afro approaching left side mid, right side mid? Is he going for an ulti? Because CLG's teamfight, while it is great, it becomes very telegraphed as you see them coming. They have limited options in how to engage. It is a flash snare from Rise or a miniature speed up from Afro into an ulti that is, in essence, dodgeable. So they need to find a flank here from Darshan somewhere or find a pick off with vision advantage, but Flash Wolves is not seemingly allowing either.
Well, at the time CLG used their TPs, they will finally be up in synergy. It could be a play that they hit on coming up on level 11 across the board. 4-0, though. The kills onto Karsa this game have slowed down. So Chronologic Gaming has found a way to ward out, stop the snowball for now. But they did just lose mid, so the next objective will tell.
And Karsa needs to almost be one comboed. Die before he can get his ultimate off, and then Flash Wolves can maybe lose the fight. But if he is allowed to cast this Lamb's Respite, maybe too much for CLG to deal with. Oh,
Spooky Ghost slowing Stixxay down, making sure he eats these piercing arrows.
That's his BM though. Look at this build.
Look at the roam from Maple as well.
He went cross screens without Sidestone, so Flash Wolves playing with way less vision. Looking at roll potential.
And I feel like they don't need to play. Oh, okay.
Backing out, it's going to be the Summoner heal. Lamb's Respite still up. There's that Huhi teleport he was looking to make before. They're going to have Karsa onto the turret. He drops it for the gold, knowing this isn't going to be a good end for him. That Rift Herald will be down now.
Meanwhile, topside, like Darshan is trading while Maple is pushing on the mid lane here. Darshan actually getting almost no damage on MMD in that trade. The turret going down very quickly for Maple. The cost there of the bottom play. The other answer would be
walks in to steal some gold.
Stixxay trying to shove the lane into the bottom turret and deny some of those minions as Smithy also moves into the jungle to deny a little bit. You know, they're trying to chip away here. CLG, they have to think step by step still at this point to get back into the game. You don't get back into the game in one huge play. It comes from many baby steps.
Yeah. Really good crescendo here though on that angle. It was really perfect to hit NL there on the back end. Teleport comes in here, so burst some flashes too. So I think CLG is overly pretty happy with this trade. Definitely Flash was stepping out of bounds. Because they could have taken that push a lot slower here. We have more action in the top lane though.
Ooh, Darshan was getting quite a bit of love. No chrono break once again for him to come out, pinned up against that wall. It looks like Flash Wolves getting what they want as they move from lane to lane. And NL, I was going to say he's taking a pretty scary path, but he's in mid by himself here. Flash Wolves just feels so confident moving around the map right now. Smithy taking almost half his HP there, calling from the heal from Afromu, and this turret is not long for this world. Mid lane's going to be pushed as well. They're going to have to respect NL in just a few seconds.
Yeah, he's going to get that wave all the way up to the mid turret, it looks like. Before he's not even going to come join. He's going to clean up bottom side. Flash Wolves relent for a second.
25 seconds on that dragon. Looks like NL and Swordart can take that themselves if it really comes to it. Pings towards the bot lane or a push after that as well. And Flash Wolves is thinking a few steps ahead. We'll see this one more time and how Darshan went down.
Yeah, desperately just trying to stop the siege here. But then just knocked into the wall and gets popped. So just a little late on the ulti. Was he out of mana? Maybe he was.
Just stunned up. Locked up, knocked down. 18 minutes on the clock. Dragon is alive. It looks like CLG wants to go toe-to-toe here. They're going to put that pressure in. TP's there for MMD if things start too early.
Yeah, just follow Afromu in this fight. His positioning is the one that Flash Wolves need to dance around because he's the key initiator.
Yep. Teleport is a really big deal as well that Riv mentions. There are so many wards in the red side jungle for Flash Wolves to start this off, and they can force it. NL's getting some poke down here. Sword Art trying to help out, but they're just going for the dragon. CLG trying to make a play.
The 3v1 by MMD more than once throughout this series from game 2 to game 3. Chain of Corruption goes out. He flashed forward. Brings that to the team. It looks like Afro is going to go down. One last shot. That was from Karsa. Now he gets another one. Huhi will drop NL, but in the fight, Stixxay looking to make the last hit. So is Karsa. He flies forward. Stixxay heals up, and he's going to keep himself alive. Actually, the heal, from Lamb's Respite.
Can Stixxay rejoin this? Darshan's trying to fight 3 versus 1. Stixxay's on the outside.
Darshan does. Looks like he's a little too far in from the poke. From Stixxay to matter that much. 3 for 2, 3 for 4 overall, I should say, as Stixxay runs solo.
Again, no ultimate there from Darshan. I think it was on cooldown this time, or maybe it was just out of mana. Did get a hit with a stun knockback this time as well when low.
See this fight all around one more time. MMD always giving CLG something else to think about when they feel they're going to start.
But this is very close. Look at how close the Ezreal ulti comes to actually hitting MMD. He does a lot of work in the later stages of this fight, so this is crucial. We see NL re-engage. The zone it puts the Varus ulti, it forces everybody to step back, and now Afromu is kind of caught with the spread. He gets a good reactionary free-man ulti, but it's a little bit too late. Karsa not sticking with the team either. He's playing very much selflessly, going for the individual duels, relying on his ulti, but then here think he actually hits a minion instead of a stick save, but loses the back end of that trade.
Darshan does have his ultimate available, and he does have mana. I think he just gets stunned up at the end here by MMD into the wall.
Yeah, but imagine if MMD died in the earlier stages of that fight, which could have been a good trade by CLG, trading one for Dragon, but just wasn't meant to be.
That flash engage from NL, though, hitting the Varus ultimate, and it's spreading to 3 extra members after that, ensuring the re-engage for Flash Wolves.
Much more reminiscent of the play we've seen from the LMS region. We've seen some Flash Wolves from AHQ in previous splits, and they are bringing that power once again to the Rift. All across the board, everybody's behind each other. Now 4-0-2 MMD with another game, 5-2-1 Karsa. Looks like the Flash Wolves could be quite unstoppable here in game number 2. Game number 3, I should say. Could be their second win as well. 9-4, Counterlogic Gaming still has the options, but it seems like it's the all-in, that getting the crescendo on a large number of players, and Flash Wolves is separating perfectly for these fights.
Yeah, CLG is just stuck in their base, so they can never get to play what their composition is meant to do, which is like 1-3-1. They're trying to pick away at the outskirts here, but it's already at a point in the game where Flash Wolves can take control of the Baron area here and rush out the Mantra E. Especially since Maple can hold his own very well with these Azir turrets in the mid.
MMD on the bottom side making a play while Smithy finishes off this turret. Let's see.
Aframu taken down without any rebuttal. The crescendo did go out there as well. Once again, dodged by the Flash Wolves. They're just not enough to stave off the kill. And more pressure here. Who he's forced to run crazy around the map to keep himself alive. And now Flash Wolves is kind of owning the map. CLG is looking for these plays, and they're spreading themselves thin to get them.
Yeah, 2 things, you know, from last game we saw Flash Wolves get MMD an early lead with the lane swap. This time around, they camped his lane with Karsa early on.
Yes.
And he's had such a more impactful game, you know, mid-game, as far as the effort that was put into getting him to this point. Definitely paying off for them.
Yeah, very stark contrast here between Darshan and MMD. Both these games for different reasons, as you just mentioned. 0-4 versus 4-0. It's really hard for him to have an impact right now.
Yeah.
CLG will need to rely on some smart teleport play. Can't enter the teamfight from the front door. Because even with the perfect crescendo, it is simply not enough at this point.
Nope. And we saw that all fall apart. Early warding to the bot lane. Karsa was able to walk in through a blank tri-brush. Top lane, no wards as well. It seems like CLG let that fall to the wayside way too much, and kind of relied on just the map pressure they would have if the turrets fell. Standard lanes playing in favor of Flash Wolves here in game 3. The CLG tries to hit back with a few turrets.
It's good that CLG keep committing members to the side lane, so they're not falling into the trap, what very often teams do when they fall behind, which is grouping.
Yeah, you don't want to continue to fight the 5-on-5s versus Flash Wolves.
Especially not with this composition here. And Flash Wolves showing some plays that are reminiscent of the group stages where they don't snowball the mid game quick enough here. Karsa even has to disengage here. As long as CLG can contest this Baron vision, this River vision, just ever so slightly, it allows people to soak up experience and farm in these side lanes. So they're doing the right thing here, CLG, but is it enough? That is the question.
Stixxay and Huhi actually have their 2-item power spikes. It's just that overall, the Flash Wolves teams has so much more gold. See if they can actually make it matter here. They're trying to spread them out. 1-3-1, double teleports available for CLG. MMD's about to come off of cooldown, though, and CLG don't have the vision coverage to try and set up one of these plays. It has to be sort of Flash Wolves handing them something.
Yeah, the vision coverage definitely on the side of Flash Wolves. Just look at all these pink wards that they've set up here in the river. They have the perfect Baron vision set up, especially that one pink ward out of pit. It's for the wards that go over. Then they have a ward in that both functions as sweep. Green ward would suffice in the pit too, but you really want to spot these blue trinkets. So can't wait for Flash Wolves to start forcing this Baron.
Yeah, something that CLG are trying to do right now, since they're low on wards, is using their minions to gain vision, trying to shove up these lanes. Though that's one of the small things you can do to gain some sort of artificial vision a little bit deeper into enemy territory. Darshan also moving into that Baron pit. He's getting some work done, actually.
He's going to clean them all.
A bunch of them.
Because Flash Wolves neglect the Baron vision. They trade the Baron vision for a dragon, which is fine if you're comfortable in closing on 5 dragons, but they do yield a lot of what they've set up in the last 5 minutes.
CLG are definitely happy to take that trade. And they're actually on the Baron right now.
I don't know about this one, Kobe.
Yeah. I think they'll stop it once they get seen, though. Yeah, you feel like you need to take some risk, but that is a bit too big, especially if you've been found out.
Slowly playing
let's see
the
what
cards
they
in their
give
favor.
up for it. Can they get him cut off? Afromu.
Ooh. Chronologic Gaming trying to make Flash Wolves that just trying to dictate where they're going, but Flash Wolves say, all right, if you're going to be on the left side, we'll push you straight down the mid lane. With Azir there, they might be able to lock this down. Darshan's in with a parallel convergence onto Karsa.
Oh, so
Lamb's
close.
respite goes down. Who's the first kill and who gets out alive? Sword Art's not even going to wait for the heal. Karsa gets a bit of it, and they are going to back off with home base set up with the Sun Disc just outside CLG's.
Almost the perfect scenario.
The flash
Catching them on the
crescendo
siege.
into the parallel convergence stun almost lands there with the damage for CLG, but they're just slivers away from pulling it off, and Karsa gets the Lamb's Respite off. Defense holds, though, for CLG, and they're actually returning to the Baron to clear out the ward. The whole reason they had to make that defense and use the flash crescendo was, oh my goodness, they caught NL!
Huge catch. Who he should stay alive in that situation. Maple kill still goes over the wall. He's going to try to hit this up, but he may have just lost himself to Stixay and the rest of the team. McSmithy and the rest happy to pick this one up. Now 2 down for Flash Wolves. Should be a mid-turret for Counterlogic Gaming and an opening they have been looking for.
This is exactly what CLG want. Getting a little bit scrappy, trading kills back and forth, trying to even it up, but now
With the fights onto Xmithy, back towards the turret. Everybody's in a safe spot here, but Darshan has got himself pretty deep with Chrono Break still up. Looks to get himself out. No walls to be stunned by this time, so he can get that HP there, but is forced to flash away from Karsa. True Shot Barrage is enough to finish down Karsa. 3 still down, or 3 now down for the Flash Wolves in this mid-turret, falling shortly after.
Yes, any sort of global gold here for CLG is a blessing for them, and they're barely able to outplay in the 4 versus 3. Now they need to disengage and reset. They've claimed, we've talked about the baby steps to get back into this game.
These
you have
weren't
to be
some baby steps, though.
well, that was a very big one, but you have to be very careful about overextending after a huge comeback play, because the whole team gets filled with adrenaline, and you think, this is our chance, we're coming back. But you have to take it a little bit calm and collected here. But again, let's watch how it started out.
Yeah, really good wards here from CLG just over the wall, and NL gets caught out. Good flash, late exhaust, to be honest, from Maple here, because we see how close this fight is. It then goes over, but he underestimates the power of Sona. This is why I am a big Sona. It was all Stixay. Never mind.
But again, right there, we saw sunk cost fallacy, this time from Flash Wolves, as Maple's like, oh my god, he just flashed in on me and NL? Are you kidding? You can't get away with that. But he chases the Sona to try and answer kills there, and 6A coming right up the lane means that CLG do get one of those steps back into this game.
Yeah, and it all started with the trade. The Baron Vision for the Dragon. Flash Wolves took 3rd Dragon, but they lost out on the play. They had a good rotation mid, but then that is what these compositions are strong at, though. The ones with delayed engages that you can time. Flash Wolves stayed for that turret, and then Flash Crescendo enabled parallel convergence, and it was also close to one comboing Karsa in that exchange.
Yeah, no surprise. Aframu's going for the distortion upgrade pretty early on with his son and wants to get more of those Flash team-wide stuns.
Yep.
Returning again, CLG 1-3-1, pressuring side lanes, trying to push up minion waves to provide themselves with that 30 seconds of artificial vision, since they still have a hard time fighting back for ward control.
It's a little surprising they're only playing 2 blue trinkets this far down.
He trying to pressure the side lanes. The safety and vision here has been the name of it. You kind of said it, Crepo. Those blue trinkets are there. Flash Wolves has been now protecting their wards. They just put more towards that Baron pit. If they lose these again, that's how CLG got back last time. Here comes the clear once more. And now Flash Wolves actually are going to have to put themselves in a tight spot to get all this back.
Yeah, this stage of the game is so difficult to play from CLG's perspective, because you need to be able to keep up the pressure, but you have to just throw jabs. You can't fully commit to one of these plays. Huhi here needs to keep throwing out the jab, poking, and then walking back as more members of Flash Wolves collapse, because you can't get caught in a full-on fight at this stage.
But we have to criticize Flash Wolves with what they've done with their lead. They threw a lot of it away. CLG made some fantastic plays coming back, but they were allowed to do so. Flash Wolves had no answer.
Definitely.
But he's continuous pressure on the bot lane here. CLG identifying how to play their composition, playing it from behind very well. The fact that Huhi got 2 towers there without getting caught is honestly a very impressive feat, because he's playing with limited vision there in the bot lane.
You can see just how it's worked since those 3 kills by Karsa in the early game. They've controlled it, but there's the dip you're talking about, Crepo. It hasn't been forever. They let go of their grip, and who would have thought it was CLG pushing back to the mid lane and engaging almost under Flash Wolf's turret to get a few of those kills back.
Also, if we're revisiting the skill shot duo lanes here, the poke from Varus and Karma falls off, whereas the Sona sustain and the AoE magic resistance, all these auras that Aphromoo is going to be bringing to the table are going to help them heal up, even if the NL poke does land and the Karma poke does land.
Yeah, especially since Sword Art, he went for the full-on 5 points in Q on Karma. That's a little bit excessive, I want to say, because the new Karma generally played with Emax. He made a small change to go very poke heavy, but that means he's very
Flash for Aphromoo is ready, and you can tell CLG are getting a little bit antsy, trying to fight around where they have vision. They've been able to establish a small hold of True Sight here around Baron, and they're trying to use it to poke out and surprise Flash Wolves.
Instant start here.
CLG's more than happy to just engage this. Guardian Angel now up for Huhi. They're ready to go for the long haul in this fight. A nice two-member hit by MMD. It's going to pause things for a little bit on this Baron attempt. And CLG's just going to kind of wait it out, stare into the white of Flash Wolves' eyes.
Whoa, Maple goes deep.
The exhaust onto Huhi. They can start to use this against Flash Wolves now. Lamb's respite down, and they're forced out of it immediately. Aphromoo takes the chance right away, and now to flash over the wall. They're on to Sword Art now, clearing him out, and CLG's been biding their time for just these fights.
The key ultimate ability usage there. You can see Flash Wolves start to panic after Maple goes deep on Huhi, but Huhi stands his ground. He fights, and Stixay follows up with him. They get the Lamb's respite out so early that Aphromoo knows this is go time. They are able to press it. They're actually trying to go for 2 at once here. CLG not taking steps. They're taking leaps and bounds.
Double down on the play here. Really good flash crescendo. Very telegraphed. Flash Wolves, they knew he was coming, but there was simply nothing they could do about it because Maple made a crucial mistake.
The Baron getting low, and Flash Wolves would have to make some crazy plays to get in there. CLG takes so much back of this. Flash Wolves, it looked like they panic a little bit under pressure there. Maple with the fumble, and the rest of the team crumbles in the team fight.
Yeah, you can't commit, use your gap closer aggressively if you don't get the play. Let's watch this. So he goes in, he realizes he doesn't quite get in range for ulti.
And they exhaust offensively. Huhi absorbs so much there.
He's just afraid of Huhi flashing his ulti and being overextended, which means he's regretting his play halfway in. There was nothing done by CLG that challenged convention at all. These were very standard reactions. So Flash was opted into a fight that they didn't really want to commit to, and that was the biggest mistake here. Maple was unwilling to use his flash aggressively to maybe predict Huhi, and then obviously Flash is down, chasing away from a Sona with flash crescendo. Yeah, you're gonna lose that fight.
It's not the same disengage. We see just picture what the Ezreal would have done in NL's hands there after he got over the wall instead of the Varus this time. That takeaway also pretty big.
Look at the composition. Maple is not supposed to be spirit hard engaged. They're playing a poke comp that has to be War of Attrition, make a crucial pickoff, and a poppy flank. This comp is not built for Maple to dash in aggressively.
MMD is your 4-0 frontman, full tank poppy with teleport ready.
Where was he?
Level 16.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be the one diving in.
And it's just testament to the pressure that CLG has been putting out in this game. Despite being behind, they've played the map better than Flash Wolves.
Yeah.
They were forcing them into the Baron, and if you have to run into the Sona, you get a little wary. So Flash was trying to force the reactionary play, but yeah, just the wrong timing.
CLG throwing out 10 minutes of jabs, but the Haymaker lands, and they are taking everything from Flash Wolves.
Sticking with that 1-3-1 composition, always having Darshan or Huhi slowly pushing the sideways. It didn't seem to do much, but it amounted to a lot here. 33 minutes in, now CLG gets to play on the side of Flash Wolves after being pushed onto their home court for the majority of the game. Darshan finding trouble here, but pressure from CLG in the top lane with quite a few resources here by Flash Wolves. In the bot, a turret has gone down now in favor of CLG, and Darshan is ready to fall for his team.
And this is the play Flash Wolves can equalize if CLG greed here, but they wisely step away. This is the problem with 1-3-1. It's incredibly hard to execute because you need to play by the cadence of your minion waves. While the wave in the top lane is gone, you cannot overextend in the bottom lane because there is no cross-map potential.
And even with Darshan going down there, net gain as far as gold for CLG, cleaning up a lot of the standing gold off of the map there. And with Baron Empowered recalls, it's so easy to reset, get back to the base, defend after that. It's a chance, you know, that sort of play is something that Darshan has made a career on, split pushing. Yes, this time he does get caught out, but a lot of extension there for Flash Wolves, and CLG are happy to take it.
Stixay on this Ezreal, 327 CS to NL's 268. And they've been avoiding the poke that pushed them back into their base. Now they get to deliver a bit of their own, and as soon as they catch one, that means Flash Wolves start to fall.
And this is where we need to start comparing scaling components here, especially in the late game. Karma versus Sona, Kobe already pointed it out, it's falling off. I mean, you have one shield with a Mantra as your ulti versus a Crescendo. You have NL with a very wonky build here. It's like just randomly pick one of each item.
This guy peaked already.
Yeah, he's way past his peak. It's a little bit like you and I, Kobe.
Yes. Well past.
Yeah,
here we go.
Brutal on each other.
Oh, the re-engage.
Oh, where's the respite? It's not happening this time. That's the nail in the coffin for Counterlogic Gaming. MMD right through the uprights, and nobody's going to get knocked back home. A minute on Dragon coming up, but it looks like they're going to be taking inhibitors before that's even an option.
Stixay tried to 2v1 tower
very low, almost burns down. He's going to limp away from the fight. Darshan's on the backside already. That's the true shot barrage, and a quick sweep feet step to the left side for NL. It's going to be the turret going down, and CLG is not stopping inside Flash Wolves' base.
Earlier in the game, Darshan was getting a taste of the stun lock when he was trying to use his life-saving ultimate. This time, Karsa gets a taste himself.
Yeah, the combo just annihilates. Re-engage potential of that Crescendo is definitely there. Flash Wolves desperately trying to force these fights. MMD going down. They simply can't withstand this late game pressure from Counterlogic Gaming.
The spike couldn't have happened at a better time. CLG knew they could continue to take hold, strangle down on Flash Wolves' composition. Even though Flash Wolves was up 3 kills in the beginning, they had everything they wanted, and it seemed to fizzle out when CLG just stepped back and assessed the game.
Yeah, Huhi, plenty of damage to match what Maple does at this point in the game, still on that rise. Stixay, his build is just far superior to what NL is bringing out, especially with how he can play in these fights too. Let's watch this again.
Great Talger here from the observers. The vision here. Smithy is baiting on Brave, extremely tanky. There it is, Aframu. The Flash Ignite ultimate. Karsa gets burned down, and just a very clean follow-up here from CLG. Nothing that Flash Wolves can do except for run for the hills.
And vision-informed decision-making by CLG. While it was macro-wise 1-3-1 in the way they control the map, there they had the pink ward in the brush. Aframu, he was waiting, biding his time, not stepping forward, doing some random face rolling on the keyboard. No, he bided his time and came out with beautiful Flash Crescendo.
Flash Wolves.
Not backwards.
Scarily close to 5 dragons.
Because
there's been make it happen.
You know, there's been some CLG supports that had
Flash Wolves feeling a bit antsy. They feel like they have to commit to their 5-dragon win condition here, and they're forcing it. It looks like CLG are going to delay and go with the push.
For the Nexus.
Yeah, Darshan is going for the push right now. They just want to delay, maybe go for a steal. He got it, and they're going to get out.
Darshan going for Nexus turrets. Can they yo-yo the defense of Flash Wolves to stop the backs? There are some in the side lanes, but it's still an 8-second. MMD is going to try to run this one back home. Huki and Stixay are going to try and just cut these guys off. That's Aframu, rather.
I love the
back off.
adrenaline management from CLG, because there's so many setups where everybody can just go crazy and just like backdoor to Nexus, go for it. Just calmly take one tower, step away. They steal the dragon here, and that is actually quite a big play, because with 5 dragons, Flash Wolves were in time to potentially defend that play. So,
also having the burn on turrets, even though it is this late in the game, there's not many turrets landing. It's very, very scary to have Darshan split pushing now. Any member, actually, Huhi as well, has been a huge component. This guy has been the other pillar of the 1-3-1 for CLG that got them through the very scary mid game where they were facing a deficit and were able to pull Flash Wolves apart.
And they're just running out of damage at this point. If you're Flash Wolves, who do you focus on the side of CLG? And how do you even catch them? As long as their flashes are up, Maple can get his ulti flash, and other than that, there is no hard engage. There's a lot of people, but what
starting it up again. Home guard's ready for Rise here. Plenty of wards to teleport on.
This is going to be incredibly tough. 2 levels up for Xmithy over Karsa's Smite. The Lambs of Smite could come in big here. Huhi back onto Carson. That's the one they need. It brings away, or takes away the 50-50. Lamb's respite goes down. They're now onto the, and now he gets cleansed out. And now Flash Wolves is trying to get out of this fight. MMD tries to get away. Collateral damage picks him up as Counterlogic Gaming is just slowly choosing their next target with precision. And now it's going to be onto Swordar. Nothing's going to save him here from Darshan, or at least he's not going to get to the fountain. And CLG is going to be looking for Nexus turrets here. A few for the kills, a few for the win, and they don't have much more before they finalize the game. Coming up huge on this one, Counterlogic Gaming stop the bleeding 20 minutes in and are able to pull themselves back into the lead.
Poised for CLG when facing the deficit and calmly executing the team fights over and over again.
GGs are out. Counterlogic Gaming takes game 3, and it's 2-1 in the semifinals.
They deal a big punch here towards the Flash Wolves, because the way
Wolves were very obviously flustered.
Yeah, the way Flash Wolves won the second game in the series was by smart map movements, strategical play. They got a big lead off of their individual play, but they faltered. They failed to use that same strategical sense to snowball the game, and they had a large goal lead. They had the second largest goal lead they've had this tournament so far at 20 minutes, and they failed to capitalize on that. They allowed CLG to get back into the game, and we have to question their Baron baits, their decisions in the mid-game.
I'm honestly going to question the Varus here from NL, even though it is a true NL champion.
Right.
You know, an old thing for him to pull out from Worlds that we've seen before. You know, it fell off in the mid-game. His poke was not substantial.
Yeah, his poke was not substantial, but Flash Wolves as a team were not playing towards poke. They had complete vision denial. That is where Varus as a champion shines. You can force them to face check, even if you hit the ulti. They're forced to disengage. That buys you enough time to potentially even do Baron. But Flash Wolves, I think going for that third dragon honestly was a big mistake, and that's something we've seen from them before, where they tunnel on this dragon, whether it's 5th, 2nd, 3rd, and they kind of forgo what the game plan is. Why do you need 5 dragons to close out the game? Why don't you just close out the game anyways with your lead?
Remember, Jat did a segment on this, is if you're a poke team, you could actually get yourself into trouble focusing that, trying to go for that 5th dragon, because like you said, you tunnel in on it and it's not something that works. Something we have to look at though is Flash Wolves did carry that aggression from their second game into this one, but it was the adaptation of Counterlogic Gaming. Something we do is you don't see mid-game by them. That's game to game.
Vision control to set up team fights, and then execution once you find yourself in it. Two big things that contributed to that swing for CLG.